Technical
Testing,
difficulties.
testing, testing.
We'll see y'all next week.
That's what it would have to be, or I'd have to come up with something clever. Testing, testing, testing. All right, now we're in there. Now we're in there. Turn out the games. All games off. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together in here and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. It is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. Anyone who does not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that they do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching in on the camera, to the saints in the chats, to the saints scattered around the world that we don't even know about, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Give me let's do Genesis chapter
8, verse 6.
Let's see. Genesis what? It's Genesis. That's right. If I get this, I'm a bad boy. Let's do Genesis chapter
11, 13, 6, 30, 80, 3,
80, 90.
8, 90, 49, 13, 3, 48.
I don't know. I can't even think of
40,
it. Where's Joseph
11,
saying
41,
they meant it for evil, but
40s, 40, oh, like 39, 40 something.
all right, that's enough. Calm down. Y'all all right. Calm down. This
Probably,
I don't know.
40.
I'm drawing a blank. What chapter would that be? Is it 47?
Yeah,
It can't be 47. It's got to be
like,
before 47.
I'm thinking like 45, 39 to 45.
Yeah, see if you can find. I want to say the verse is like 51.
Oh.
Whatever it is, I want to say it's verse 51 or 50 something. I know the verse is deep in there.
Father and my brother.
Oh, yeah.
What you got? What is that? That's Genesis 50? Oh. Testing.
It's 40. Hold on, I think it's 46.
46, check
Yeah,
like verse 50.
I'm still looking though. I think it is.
It'll be like verse 50, 51, if I'm not mistaken. Genesis 41. Genesis 50, he told his brother, no, not Genesis 50. You think it is Genesis 50? Is it? It can't be Genesis 50.
I can again.
I don't think it's Genesis 50. Sister Pam, see if you can find it for me.
What are we looking for?
Joseph said, what they meant or what y'all meant for evil, God meant for good.
Yeah, that is kind of like, I think that is towards the end because they was, remember after they kissed and made up, they was like, man, Joseph about to take revenge on us.
All right, well, let's see what chapter 50 further.
Yeah.
I did have 50 in my mind, but I was thinking it was the verse 50.
I don't know if it's 50. I would say probably like, I'm thinking 47.
Oh, it's bad. It's taking us this long to find this. Goodness gracious, boy. It's embarrassing. And we started off the study with this foolishness. Goodness gracious. Genesis 50, he told his brothers. This Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. I appreciate you, Sister Pam. It's Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Let's see what the book says. Do I want a little bit before 20 maybe?
Let me see.
Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. You see it?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. So we're gonna go 15.
It's Genesis chapter 50, verse 15. Let's see what the book says.
And when Joseph's brethren saw that their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us and will certainly
Here, answer the
require
phone.
us all the evil which we did
Answer
unto
the phone.
him.
Answer the phone.
And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joseph, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sin. For they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him.
Right? So Joseph, the son of Jacob, right? The son of the man Jacob, who was renamed Israel by the Most High God. Joseph was in a position of authority, right? But he came from a humble beginning. His brothers took him and sold him into slavery, right? Into Egypt. So he went into Egypt in the captivity. He went into that place and got stuck there. He ended up earning his way into second in command of all of Egypt. His brothers didn't think that he would actually be granted life, right? Granted this life that he obtained. But you gonna read, right? Y'all cut it out, cut it out. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Right? His brothers didn't think that he would be able to obtain this life and obtain this
If
authority.
I had gas, you
So
could.
they thought he was dead. They thought their brother was good as dead, long gone, never be thought about again. It turned out that Joseph actually became essentially second in command of all of Egypt. And through a dream, Joseph actually put Egypt in place to become a great empire, right? So I don't know if y'all remember it, but what happened was Joseph had a dream that there would be years of famine coming, but it would be after years of plenty. So he gave a plan to the Pharaoh. He said, "Listen, man, this is what you got to do. You store up all the extra food during the years of plenty. It's gonna be, I think it was 7 years of plenty. He said you store up all the extra food, and then after that, for the 7 years of famine, you take that extra food." And so what that ended up happening was Egypt was the only place that had resources. So if you had all these different countries surrounding Egypt, if they needed some food, guess who they had to come to? They had to come to Egypt. So eventually you run out of stuff to trade because Egypt is the only one with resources. So then people started to sell themselves to Egypt. They said, listen, as long as you provide for us, we will work your land. We will do whatever we need to do. You can take our land. So Egypt ended up owning everything and everybody, right? And that's how they became this great empire. They did that on the back of Joseph. So now, after Jacob died, their father, his brothers came to him after they realized that he was running the show. His brothers came to him and was like, "Look, man, I don't know if Daddy talked to you, but he said, don't hold it against us what we did. You know what I'm saying? We apologize. We know we messed up." Pop said, just forgive us for what we did, right? And so Joseph started to cry. Let's see.
And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And
Mm-hmm.
his brothers also went and fell down before his face. And they said, Behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for I am in the place of God.
He said, "Fear not." He said, "What now?" Read it again.
For I am in the place of God.
Mm-hmm.
But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good to bring to pass as it is this day to save much people alive.
He said, "You thought evil against me." But what happened now?
But God meant it unto good to bring to pass as it is this day to save much people alive.
What do you think that, what does that remind us of? What we got? Grab let's see if I can get this one. This is John chapter 10. I feel like this is about to be wrong too. It's either gonna be John. Give me John chapter 11, verse 51. Let's see. We rusty. Sister Pam, you might have to help me out with this one too. Let me see. Remind me of Yahushua asking God to forgive us. That's right. It's John chapter, let's try John 11, verse 51. Let's see what that say. You got it already?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
That's not it?
Yes. You in the ballpark.
Oh, okay, boom, nailed it then. If that's what 51 say, nailed it. Give me 49 then. I probably want 49. I probably want maybe even before that. This is John chapter 11, verse 49. Nailed it. You know what I'm talking about?
And one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know
Go
nothing
back
at
a little
all.
bit more. Let's see. Let me see what 43 got to say.
We'll do 45.
This is what 45. This is John chapter 11, verse 45. Watch what the book say.
And many of the Jews which came to Mary had seen the things which Yahushua did, believed on him. But
Uh-huh.
some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done.
Uh-huh.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we do? For this man does many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And
if we leave this boy alone, everybody is going to believe on him. Right? That didn't make sense. They looking at it like, this is dangerous. If we don't do something about this, everybody will believe him. Why do they think it's a problem that everybody believes in Yahushua?
Rome.
Because Rome? What else? Why would that be a problem for them? Why would it be a problem that everybody believes? You would think you would want everybody to believe in the Messiah. Why do they think it's a problem that everybody believes in Yahushua?
Because they don't think he's the Messiah.
They don't think he's the Messiah. Right? In their mind, this guy cannot be the Messiah. Why?
Because they don't know. They don't know that he from Jerusalem or Judah. They think he's from Galilee.
That's one reason. What else? Who did he make himself equal to?
God.
He made himself equal to God. He would say things that, as God continues to work, I continue to work, even through the Sabbath. He'd say things like, me and God. You know what I'm saying? He looked at him like, no. You make yourself equal to God. Whoever sent you is not the God that we was raised on. I don't care what Mary. Oh, we got grab. So we got to come back here to John chapter 11. Grab Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse. Let me see Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. We might need to jump on down, but let's start with Deuteronomy 13:1. Is it 13:1? Yes, 13:1, I believe. That's what I want. It's Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams.
He said, if there arise among you a prophet. What's a prophet? We just talked about it last week. What's a prophet? Messenger of the Most High God. How does the prophet get his message? How does God tell him? That's right, in a vision or in a dream, right? So that's why I say, if there be what?
If there be a prophet
or a dreamer of dreams, right? because the Most High God speak to him either in a vision or a dream. That's how a prophet is. So if you got a prophet or somebody who's like, man, I had a dream from the Most High God, what happened?
And giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
And they give it you a sign or a wonder. What's a sign or a wonder? No. What's a sign or a wonder?
I mean, like, someone find eating now.
Not exactly. It's talking about a miracle, right? So when they say a sign or a wonder, it's something. If somebody was sick, right, and they so sick that they got this cough, they can barely breathe, and then I said, in the name of the Most High God, you are healed. Then all of a sudden, they can heal. They can breathe clear. If somebody couldn't walk, they in a wheelchair and they ain't been able to walk their whole life, right? And then I say, in the name of the Most High God, get up and walk. And then they stand up and walk. Those are signs and wonders. Those are miracles. It's something big happening. We've never seen nothing like that, right? And so that's what they're talking about. They say, if you have a prophet who is, or a dreamer of dreams, right? And he comes and he's doing signs and wonders. What next?
And the sign or wonder come to pass,
And the sign or the wonder come to pass.
whereof
So
he
you
spake
have to
unto thee.
understand that you say you got a prophet that say they got a message from the Most High God through a dream. And then they do a sign or a wonder. So that means they telling you on the 3rd day of February, that building will build itself up from the ground up with no help. Right? And so we looking like, man, I ain't never seen no building put itself together. That's crazy. But then on the 3rd day of February, the building stood up by itself. We would look at that and be like, wow, that's a miracle. But guess what? The prophet in the dreamer of dreams told us that was going to happen. Right? Read it again.
If there be arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, then the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known.
Hold on. So he said, and the sign or a wonder came to pass. Well, how do we know? How do we know for sure that we dealing with a prophet?
That's what he says come to pass.
What we got? Grab Deuteronomy 18. Give me Deuteronomy 18:20 what? 1 or 20 maybe? Give me Deuteronomy 18 verse 20. Let me see what verse 20 have to say. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 20. Because I just want y'all to understand, we kind of look at the Pharisees and the high priests, and we look at them like, you guys were jealous of the Messiah. And maybe they were, right? But it's not that simple, right? A lot of times we simplify it because we live in 2026. But it's not that simple. I want y'all to see what they were dealing with, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 20.
But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
Uh-huh.
And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which Yahuwah has not spoken?
Look, he said, look, the Most High God is asking, if y'all end up asking me and saying, how in the world are we supposed to know when somebody is lying about being a prophet of yours? That's what the question is. He's about to tell you the answer to that. He's about to tell you, this is how you know whether or not a prophet was sent by me. Watch this.
When a prophet speaks in the name of Yahuwah, if the thing follow not nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahuwah has not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him.
He's telling you the way that you identify the prophet of Yahuwah is by looking at what he says and seeing if it actually happens the way he said it. That is how God himself told us to identify a prophet, right? But then in chapter 13, let's go back. I just want y'all to see, when you pay attention to the law and you put all these things together, you have to be very precise. And if you miss one thing, it might throw you off. And that's what happened to the Pharisees. That's what happened to the Sadducees. That's what happened to the high priest. So now we know Yah told us a couple things. A prophet is someone who gets a message from the Most High God through a vision or a dream. That's one thing he told us, right? The next thing he told us is the way you know that a prophet is truly from God and is not a lying prophet is because the thing that he says, it won't come to pass. If it does not come to pass, then you know that Yah did not send him, right? So that's the second thing that he told us. But now this is the third thing. Let's read it again. This is Deuteronomy 13, verse 1.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives thee a sign and a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams.
So he said, listen, even if he give you so he is a prophet in the sense that he had a dream or a message, and he gave you a sign, and the sign that he gave you actually came to pass. It actually happened the way it happened. He told you, however, still don't listen to him if he's telling you about a God that's different from me. Right? So Yah is telling us, if this prophet is coming to you, even if what he says come to pass, even if he's actually doing legitimate miracles, do not believe him if he's talking about any God other than Yahuwah. Right? So hold on. What we got? Oh, what you supposed to do to him? What you supposed to do to him if you see this prophet that's talking about some other God?
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, nor that dreamer of dreams, for Yahuwah your God proves you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
What does he mean, proves you?
Test.
He tests you. He's testing you to see, do you really love the Most High God like you say you do? Let's see about it. Keep going. Watch this.
You shall walk after Yahuwah your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cleave unto him.
Mm-hmm.
And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahuwah your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage,
Okay.
to thrust thee out of the way which Yahuwah thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shall you put the evil away from the midst of thee.
Keep going. That's it.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter,
He said, even if your brother, right, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, right? Keep going.
1 second. Eli, open the door for Uncle Daniel. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far from thee, from the one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth,
So it don't matter what God you're talking about. If it's some other God, what we gonna do?
thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him.
Right? Don't try to hide them. Don't be sad about it. But what you got to do?
But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him.
Who hand?
Thine hand shall be put first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people.
So whoever witnessed this guy, even if it happens to be your brother or somebody in your country or your sister or whoever it is, whoever witnessed this person who tries to turn you to another God, your hand should be first against them. This is what the law is telling us. He said, first you, then let everybody else do it. Right? Grab John chapter 10, verse 30. This is John chapter 10, verse 30. So the sister says, so like Daniel, even though all he has prophesied has not come to pass, we know by what has come to pass that he is a true prophet. That's exactly correct. Right? So Yeah, so it's like as long as we see something that came to pass and it's consistent with the Most High God and they're giving glory to the Most High God, well then that qualifies them to be a prophet. This is John chapter 10, verse 30.
I and my Father are one.
Oh, let me get back before that. What I want?
We'll do 22.
This is John chapter 10, verse 22.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Messiah, tell us plainly.
Right? So they asking, if you the Messiah, just tell us, right? Let's see what he said. All Yahushua had to say is yes. Let's see if he said yes.
Yahushua answered them, I told you, and you believe me not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you.
Mm-hmm.
My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I and my Father are one.
He said, I and my Father are what?
One. Then the Jews took up stones again to stone him.
Why would they take up stones again to stone him?
This is a God they don't know nothing about.
They said, the God we serve, there's nobody who's equal with him. The God we serve says there is no equal. No one shares his glory. So what they looked at is they said, according to our law, even though this seems to be a prophet, and it seems like he's getting a message from something, and he's giving a sign, and he's doing all these miracles, and they're actually coming to pass just as he said it. Deuteronomy 13 tells us, even if all that is true, if this man is leading us to a different God, my hand has to be against him first. I'm not waiting for nobody. Give me a stone so I can follow the law. So in these people's mind, they thought he was a threat. He's the worst kind of threat because you look legitimate. You actually can do miracles. But Yah is testing me right now. Yah is trying to see if I truly serve him. So give me a stone so I can hit Yahushua across that big old dog, his cocky butt. I'm about to slam it into his darn head. That's what they're thinking. Sometimes we can look at this stuff and we can say, I just can't relate. If Yahushua is in front of me right now, I would serve him. I would leave everything up for him. And maybe you would. But maybe your butt would say, give me that stone so I can hit this boy right across his darn noggin because he's trying to trick my people and send them all to hell. Because that's what they thought based off of their misunderstanding of the law. The lesson in this is not don't be a Pharisee. The lesson in this is, man, let's be careful about our law. Man, let's be careful about this word. Let's make sure we're precise. Let's make sure when we judge, we look at the whole matter. Let's make sure we hear a person out. Let's make sure we ask the right question. Let's make sure if we look at one part of the law that we don't forget the other. Right? Because the same law that told us to stone them, there's also a law that told us grab Exodus chapter 23. Then after that, we got to go back to John chapter 11. So grab Exodus chapter 23. Give me like verse 2. This Exodus chapter 23. Give me verse 2. There's too many people teaching this book and they don't understand it. People can't get no real practical life lessons out of it because people don't understand it.
Thou shalt, wait, Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
He said, thou shalt not do what?
Follow a multitude to do evil.
So guess what? You can't forget. Now, you can't forget one part of the law and not the other. If the multitude want to stone him, if the multitude is yelling out, give us Barabbas, right? You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong to let go of a thief and a liar over a person that has committed no crime. You know it's wrong. That hasn't gotten a proper judgment. You condemn him simply because he says that he's the Messiah. There's no law against calling yourself the Messiah. You cannot condemn a man unjustly just because the multitude says do it. That's the lesson. Is that if we gonna keep our law, if we gonna follow Yahushua, we can't follow it just on the places that we think are cool at the moment or that we want to hyper focus on at the moment. We got to keep the whole thing. We have to be balanced. We have to be just. And the moment that you're not, it's going to catch you. This is why Yahushua grab, we still got to go to John chapter 11, but give me Mark chapter 7. This is Mark chapter 7. I probably want verse 6. This is Mark chapter 7. Give me verse 6. Did I nail it? Did I hit it on the head? Where Eli at? I need him to say I'm a bad boy. You know what I'm talking about? This is Mark chapter 7. Let me see what verse 6 say.
He answered and said unto them, well has Isaiah prophesied of you, hypocrites, as it is written, the people honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandment of men. For laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men, and as the washing pots and cups, and many other such like ways of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things you do. And he said unto them, full well you reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition. For Moses said, honor thy father and thy mother, and whosoever curses father or mother, let him die to death.
Let him die to death. This ain't what I'm looking for, though. Give me Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. Maybe verse 22. This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 22. Yeah, that one he compared tradition to the traditions of men to the law. But no, that's not what I want. I want us to compare the law to the law. Right? This is Matthew chapter 23, verse 22.
And he that shall swear by heaven swears by the throne of God and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites.
He said, woe unto you, in other words, destruction unto you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites. Watch how he warned
ye
them.
pay tithe and mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
He's saying you pay tithes even down to your seasoning. So you have to understand what he's saying. You have to understand how the tithes work, right? So let's say I'm a person who owns 1,000 sheep, right? He's painting the picture that it's normal for people to say, out of 1,000 sheep, I'm going to count and give God every 10 sheep. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That 10th one goes to Yah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That 10th one goes to Yah. And I keep doing that until I get to 1,000, right? So I would do that for all the stuff. He's saying that, man, y'all are so meticulous that you pour out the seasoning out of the salt shaker and you count every grain to make sure that Yah gets 1/10 even of your seasoning. Everything that you own, you make sure that Yah has 1/10. You are so studious and you have such attention to detail that you make sure he gets 1/10 of literally everything that you own. You don't skip nothing, even down to your darn seasoning, right? But watch what he say next.
And have omitted the weightier matters of the law. Judgment, mercy, and faith.
He said, but you miss the stuff that matters the most. You are down to every detail on the stuff that matters the least. but you miss the stuff that matters the most. That was his warning to the scribes and the Pharisees, letting them know that you are not keeping the whole law. And guess what happens when you don't keep the whole law? You do not have the judgment. So now you're going to misinterpret your entire life. So now when Yahushua pop up and he's telling you, I'm one with God, you're going to read that as, I need to stone him. But the reason that you're misreading that is because you don't understand the weightier parts of the law. What are the weightier parts?
Judgment, mercy, and faith.
If you have judgment, that means that you're saying, I know the right thing to do here. So now, let's say, if I have judgment and I still think Yahushua is not the Messiah and therefore is a threat to the people, the right thing to do is stone them. Okay, so maybe they have judgment, right? What's the next one?
Mercy.
Mercy. Well, now when you pair judgment with mercy, now you want to understand the facts a little bit more. Let me just, because I mean, this don't seem like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Let me just think, let's just look at it from every angle. How can I show some compassion to this fella? And then what's the last one?
Faith.
Ooh, faith. When you have faith, guess what you're doing? You believe in the word. And when you believe the word, guess what you're doing? You believe the whole word. So now I take my faith, right? I understand the word and believe it. I combine that with my mercy, and I say, "Oh, I wonder, is there anything that can get my guy off?" Because I mean, he might be a false prophet, but I mean, he just seems like such a good guy. He's been helping people. Is there any other way that we can look at this? And then you have judgment compared with the faith. That's going to take you over here, and you're going to look and say, you know what? You do know there is a psalm that says, ye are God, sons of the Most High God. I don't know if we can charge it. I think we got to wait it out and let's just see how it happens. Who told us to do that? Who told us, you know what, maybe we should just wait it out and see how this plays out?
Gamaliel or
It was Gamaliel. We don't have to get it, but in Acts, Gamaliel told us, he said, listen, it's been a few people that popped up. Think, oh, let's get it. This Acts chapter what? 5? It's either 5 or 4. Right? Gamaliel tried to tell us. He said, listen, you have to wait it out. Why would Gamaliel have this wisdom? Because Gamaliel knew the law. He wasn't playing about this stuff. He knows the whole law. He knows the justice. He knows the mercy. And he has the faith. And when you put those three together, the heaviest parts of the law, that presents to you an opportunity to make the right decision and to act with wisdom. But when you miss the weightier matters of the law and you focus on the things that are like checking a box that only in appearance make you appear righteous, right? It's a lot of nuance when you're dealing with judgment. You got to make black and white out of gray. That's what the law helps you do. The law helps shine light on dark matters. So when things are difficult to understand, the law helps you sort it out. A lot of these people can't do that. And the reason is because they don't know the law. The reason why a lot of these Christian pastors, right, get online. You got Kirk Franklin doing podcasts trying to sound cool for the kids, doing all this cussing. He doesn't understand the weightier matters. He think it's all cool. Hey, look, as long as I show them that I can relate. Most High God ain't asked you to relate to nobody. Most High God asked you to be a saint, to separate yourself. It's the opposite of relate. You supposed to make a standard. You can't buckle because these people, oh, you think you better than us. I don't care what nobody think I think. How you let somebody tell you what you darn think? You should be thinking what the Most High God tell you to think. We spend so much time worried about how people view us, how we look, how somebody else feels about how we feel. No. Care about what the Most High God thinks. Care about if that man is pleased with you or not. What I'm looking for? Did you find it?
Yeah.
This Acts what?
5:30.
This is Acts chapter 5, verse 34.
Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law.
He said he's a what now?
Doctor of the law.
What that mean? He got a scalpel? You know what I'm saying? He got a what's it called? A stethoscope. And then what they call it?
Yeah.
A stethoscope.
Stethoscope.
You know what I'm saying? Put that thing on your heart. They think, do do, do do do. Is that what he did? He walked in there with a do do do? Nah. When they say doctor of the law, what did the brother told? He said it means teacher of the law. That man teaches the law. He has a very thorough understanding of the law. He gets up in front of people, goes through the law, and explains it in detail at a high level. He is one of the most respected men in our country at this time at teaching the law. What you think the man gonna darn say? Watch this. He ain't into no darn politics. He ain't trying to impress nobody. He ain't scared of no darn Rome. The only thing he has is faith and justice and
Faith, mercy, and justice.
and mercy. Forgot one.
Judgment.
You know what I'm saying? But justice is judgment, right? So all he got is judgment, mercy, and faith. And he has a full understanding of this law. Watch what the man say.
A doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men.
Look, he said, look, you men of Israel, take heed to yourself. As it relates, hey, pay attention. When they say take heed to yourself, what is saying? Pay darn attention now. Pay attention to what you're doing. Watch very closely with how you handle these dudes. Watch this.
For before these days rose up Theodas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to nothing.
He said, look, y'all remember, he telling them, he's like, y'all remember Theudas? That boy Theudas came around here, everybody, he had 400 buddies going after him. 400 of them boys. Everybody thought he was something. The man said he was somebody, didn't he? Y'all remember Theudas? What we do to Theudas? Nothing. Watch this.
After this rose up Judah of Galilee in the days of the taxing.
He said after that, you remember the days of the taxing, that wasn't too long ago. You don't remember Judas of Galilee? Keep going.
And drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many obeyed him, were dispersed.
Right? He said, these guys are forgotten. Y'all don't even remember them. He said, y'all don't remember Thaddeus? The boy, he popped up 400 boys after him, got clipped, bow. What happened after that? Everybody went back to their regular lives. Y'all remember Judah from Galilee? He from the same place that y'all shooting from. Y'all remember him? Popped up, whole bunch of people followed after him. He got clipped, bow. What happened? Everybody back to their normal life. You don't even remember him. Watch, keep going.
And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to nothing.
He said, listen, the thing, we've seen it before. It will fizzle out on its own if it's nothing. But
if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against God.
He said, but if the man is right, you know what I'm saying? If Yahushua is right, you go mess around and find yourself fighting against God. This is a view that incorporates not just faith and not just judgment, but also mercy, the weightier matters of the law. And by doing that, he can now have the proper judgment. He can now give the proper words and deal with a situation the way it's supposed to be dealt with. And so he tell them, look, y'all be careful about how y'all do this now. Y'all be careful about how y'all handle these people. That's what Caiaphas could have done. But he didn't have the weightier matters of the law. This is John chapter 11, where we leave off, like 43. It's John chapter 11, probably about 43.
48.
48. This is John chapter 11, verse 48. Watch what the book says. John chapter 11, verse 48.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Uh-huh.
And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this he spake not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for that nation, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
Now, is that lawful? Is it lawful for the high priest to say, hey, let's kill this man for the sake of the whole nation? What does our law say about one person's sin?
Die for his own.
Our law says that the man should die for his own. The soul that sinned. Grab Ezekiel chapter 18. It's Ezekiel chapter 18. I don't know what verse I want. Let's try verse 9 maybe. It's Ezekiel chapter 18. We're going to try verse 9. Just in case, give me 8. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. I might overshot. Let me see. This is Ezekiel chapter 18. Let me see what verse 8 got to say. If it was 9, though, I still get it. It's Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 8.
He that has not given forth upon usury, neither he that's taken any increase, that has withdrawn his hand from iniquity, has executed true judgment between man and man, has walked in my statutes, and has kept my judgments to deal truly, he is just, he shall surely live, says Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
If he beget a son that is a robber, a shedder of blood.
Maybe it's before that. Is it before that? Somebody go open the door for me, please. Is it before that?
You
Or
sure
is
you
it?
don't want 33?
I don't think it's 33. Maybe it's chapter 3. Let's try Ezekiel 3.
What you want?
The soul that. Oh,
Okay. Are they coming to open the door? You said 33?
no, just 3. Ezekiel chapter 3.
Is that it?
I thought it was in 18.
33 go over the same thing, don't it? Or
Daniel,
am I
see it.
tripping?
Daniel, see if you can find it in chapter 18. Soul that sin shall die.
He go over that same thing in 33, right?
33, 18, and 3 all
Right.
have like a similar thing.
Okay.
But I'm almost positive 18. I feel like I'm not sure. 18:4. Also super. Okay, go back to 18. It's Ezekiel chapter 18. Give me verse 4.
Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die.
He said the soul that what?
Sinneth.
The soul that sins is the one that's going to die. So now, would it be appropriate for a high priest to make the judgment call that one man should die for the sake of all the nation? There is no law that would justify that judgment. So now you can see the difference between the judgment of the high priest versus someone who is truly a lover of the law in Gamaliel. Because the difference, one is acting out of what? What's the motivation of the high priest? Fear. He said, look, man, Rome is going to come. Go back. This is John chapter 11, verse probably about 50. This is John chapter 11. Let's try verse 50. This is John chapter 11, verse 50. Watch what the book says.
Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die
Oh
for
no,
the
give me
people.
back, give me back 48. It's John chapter 11, verse 48.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him.
He said, if we let him alone, all men are going to believe on him. Watch this.
And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
So now, what are they reacting out of? We don't want the Romans to come and take our place in our nation. Our motivation to kill the Messiah is based off of fear of the Romans. But Gamaliel, who has learned in all the law, what was his motivation? Judgment, mercy, the weightier matters of the law. When that's the motivation, and you understand the law, you won't make the mistakes that the Pharisees made. People never get the lesson, and so they start thinking the lesson is, oh, well, you know, those Pharisees were just jealous of Yahushua. You're not going to learn anything from that. You're not going to prevent a repeat of the mistake if that's what you got out of it. Yahushua, not once. Yahushua has so many criticisms of the Pharisees. Not once did he criticize them of being jealous. You've never read that. You never read him come up to him and be like, hey, you wish you was in my spot. You've never read that. What did the man say to him? You are a hypocrite. You only keep certain parts of the law. You miss the weightier matters of the law. You will strain out a darn gnat and let a camel pass. He tells you exactly what his problem is. You are focusing on the wrong things. You are making a mountain out of the wrong things. And you can see it because they made a whole mountain out of the Romans coming to take them when that was never a threat. But Gamaliel, who also kept the law, the problem ain't keeping the law. Gamaliel, who also kept the law, he said, you know what? Everybody relax. Let these boys do their thing because you might find yourself fighting against God. Y'all don't remember Thaddeus? Right? Y'all forgot about Judah? Where was Judah from?
Galilee.
That's another point that you got to understand. This is something that we're dealing with. We've already seen false prophets pop up. One of them from Galilee. Now you got this guy, Yahushua, from Galilee. That's why some of the people looking like, man, we seen your type before, boy. Not too long ago, Thaddeus and Judah came around here saying the same thing as you. Now your crowd a little bigger now, I tell you. And they wasn't doing miracles like you. But man, come on, man. Y'all just get better each time. I want y'all to know how God plays. That's all I want. I want y'all to, when God come, it's not going to be a simple, hey, this is obvious. That's not how it's going to present itself. Look, when the man of sin come, I assure y'all, don't prepare for him to come with a t-shirt that says man of sin. When the man of sin come, he's going to sound like he's telling you the truth. He's going to sound like he's on your side. He's going to sound like he serves the Most High God. The only thing that's going to help us sort through it is being precise about what the word is saying and leading with judgment, mercy, and what else? And faith. Very good, boy. If you miss the weightier matters, your judgment will not be correct. You are going to misidentify the situation. You're going to think what's right is wrong, and you're going to think what's wrong is right. And that's what you see today over almost every congregation that you can go to, whether it's Hebrew Israelites, whether it's Christians, whether it's Muslims, whether it's what's the other ones I just learned about? I always thought sheiks was Muslim. Oh yeah. I heard they own thing. I'm like, y'all got y'all own set? That's crazy. So it's like they got to try to look it up a little bit too. It's just a guy that popped up one day and came up with it too. I'm like, oh, I can't believe that where a guy just popped up one day. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pop up. Connect yourself to some. At least the Muslim, what they did, they didn't. Yeah, Muhammad popped up one day, but they didn't just say he popped up one day. They said this comes from the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? He connected himself to something ancient. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. He saw what Yahushua did. He was like, ain't a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? The way that boy did, ain't a bad idea. Come up with something new, connected to some old. Because that's our law. You got to know our law to have that. Grab Leviticus chapter 26. Listen, you can even lie better if you understood the law. That's what Muhammad did. Look, Muhammad was so mad that he couldn't be accepted as a Jew. Because Muhammad still, you know what I'm saying, he still wanted to live in Mecca. He didn't want to live in Israel and do all this stuff. He was so mad. Like, why they think they better than us? We come from Abraham too. That's what his thinking was. He was like, our people come from Abraham too. Why do y'all think y'all better than us? So you know what he did? He took his ball, you know what I'm saying? And he built his own basketball court. What you mean? He took all our stuff, all our principles. He threw a little, you know what I'm saying? He threw a little Arabian spin on it. You know what I'm saying? Took all our principles and said, no, we're going to call it the Quran. You know what I'm talking about? I said, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? You know the lie he told? He said, Gabriel, the angel, came. Why would he choose Gabriel? He wasn't, I want y'all to know, he wasn't a dumb man. Why would he choose Gabriel?
Because it's someone that's familiar. We understand that.
Who else did Gabriel come to?
He came to Daniel.
He didn't come to Daniel, did he?
Gabriel went to that. Yeah. Gabriel went to Daniel.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he did come to. Yeah, he came to Daniel in chapter 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, he did. Who else did he come to though? Who came to Mary?
Oh yeah.
When Muhammad looked at it, Muhammad did a lot of studying. He looked at it. He said, "Okay, if this is gonna work, it got to be believed." Right? So he said, if Mary got talked to from Gabriel to tell her about the Messiah, Gabriel's the real messenger. He probably thought about that. I forgot about Daniel, but yeah, he probably thought about Daniel too. He said, and he went to Daniel. Gabriel came and gave me this message, and he said that I am the last prophet. And he exalted himself. What's the difference between Muhammad, Moses, and Yahushua?
Muhammad was
No,
lying.
seriously, what was the difference? What's the difference?
Muhammad was lying. That's different.
Muhammad exalted himself. Yahushua didn't. Yahushua made himself low. Moses made himself low. Muhammad exalted himself in his book, the last prophet. Show me somewhere in anything that Moses wrote where Moses called himself anything.
I'm the man. God talked to me directly.
It's quite the opposite. Book tell you Moses, the only thing Moses said about himself was Moses wrote about himself. He said Moses was the most humble. You know what I'm saying? You remember Moses wrote, I'm the most humble. I feel like somebody else wrote that after him, right? But that's the most you're gonna find in there. Moses didn't want nothing to do with none of this stuff. But Muhammad, in his writing, he exalted himself. You can't escape the principles of the book. This Leviticus chapter 26. I don't know what verse I want, though. Leviticus 26. Give me verse. It's going to be early. It's like verse. I always feel like, you know what I'm saying? Verse 9. Let's just see what verse 9 say. Maybe it's Leviticus 26:26. Give me 26:26 to see if that's it. If that's not it, then let's jump back to verse 9.
And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven.
No, it's going to be, yeah, let's try verse 9.
For I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful and multiply you and establish my covenant with you. And you shall eat old store.
That is, that's a bad boy. That's a bad boy. Oh yeah, that's verse 10.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Leviticus chapter 26, verse 10. Watch what the book says.
And you shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new.
You shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of what?
Because of the new.
That is a biblical principle. So when Muhammad looked at it, he knew enough to be like, okay, because Satan is coaching him, right? He knew enough because something probably spoke to him. It wasn't Gabriel, but something probably spoke. What is that? 2 Corinthians chapter 11, transforming to an angel of God.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is. Let me see if it's 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Daniel, scroll down in that chapter for me and see where it's at. I want to say like chapter. I want to say verse maybe 13 to 15 somewhere in there, but it might be further down. It's 13. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Give me verse 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11. The way I'm talking right now, you can't talk like this overseas. Look, I'm telling you, mid darn broadcast, they'd have had a bomb strapped at somebody running up to my door right now. They don't play about darn Mohammed in these other countries. Listen, you go to England talking this stuff, because you know England overrun. You know how we got a lot of Mexicans and Haitians and Jamaicans and what's on the Dominican Republicans? What do they call them?
Dominicans.
Oh, Dominicans.
Dominican Republicans. What's wrong with this dude?
Dominicans, all that. We got a whole bunch of them as immigrants in our country, right? But overseas, they got a bunch of Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And them Muslims come in pushy. They be coming in changing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's set up what they call it, Sharia law. Let's set up Sharia law. They come to these people country trying to set up their law. Dead serious. And they'd kill your butt talking about Muhammad. You get to talking like I'm talking about Muhammad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not going to England talking like this about Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? I might pop out in England and Shalaikum Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you say, Shalaikum Shalom, brother. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? Shalaikum Dar Shalom. I ain't talking like this over there. In America, though, boy, it's Trump country. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Forget about Muhammad. You know what I'm talking about? Trump will drop a bomb on y'all, but you know what I'm talking about? But listen, over there, nah, yo, I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna like Shalaikum. Shalaikum, my brother. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? We all right. Right? But look, this is how Muhammad got it. Watch this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 11.
Wherefore, because I love you not, God knoweth, but what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that wherein they glory, they may be found even as we. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.
That is what happened. He didn't talk to no darn Gabriel, but he definitely talked to something that transformed itself into something that looked like an angel of light. And then by that, he definitely transformed himself into a minister, right? That looked like a minister of light. They got the whole world right now, half of the world right now, not half, but a large portion of the world right now, absolutely believing everything and forming whole governments on top of this man's religion. And it's dead wrong. It's dead wrong. Right? You got a large portion of black men in America that follows this foreign religion of which our fathers did not follow and never followed. They try to tell us a lie to say that we were Muslims before we came here as slaves, which is a spit in the face because most of us that came here because they captured us. Muslims captured our people because we would not convert to Islam. That is how we became prisoners of war. That is how we got shipped down to the west part of Africa. And that is how they coordinated with the Europeans to send ships there to get our butts up out of there because they were sick of us. And it's like, hey, we can make a little money off. We can kill these boys. But if we sell them to the Christians, we can make a little money off. And they got the nerve to come here and say, the Christianity is a slave religion. You know what I'm going to do about that? Join Islam. Well, that was the first slave religion. That was the first slave religion. What are you talking about? Who had the first slave trade? Christians or the Arabs? And when did it magically start? Right after Muhammad died. Don't talk to me about a darn slave religion. I'm supposed to be mad. I don't like when nobody make me take a Christian side. Because I'm telling you right now, if the Christians and the Muslims lined up, whose side I gotta go on? Man, come on. Strap up, Christian. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this, man, real quick. After this, though, we at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, after this, we back at it. Let's get these Muslims real quick. If we had to line them up.
That's how we used to feel. That's like the West Side Northtown people. It's like, you about to make me join with the Gerst and the Bloods.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now I got to join. Come on. Hurry up, man. Let's get this over with. Right? Because at least the Christians is reading the right book. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know what I'm saying? They got some issues, but they reading the right books. You know, it's not as though they not reading the right books. The Muslim boy, they don't know what they darn doing. They out there kissing darn boxes. They got this big old black box. Right now is Ramadan. Right now. Right now. I'm an American. I say it the American way. Ramadan. You know what I'm talking about? It's Ramadan right now. It's somebody right now that just started eating because it got dark. What type of silly stuff is this? Fast every day until it's dark. Ain't even no darn fast. Ain't even a full day fast. We ain't never heard of no stuff like that. Who? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We ain't never heard of no stuff like that. That's that Muslim stuff, right? The Muslims created intermittent fast. But there was no such thing as that until the Muslim came around. That's a Muslim thing. Intermittent fasting. I intermittent fast all day. I ain't no darn Ramadan. You know what I'm talking about? That's just a long day at work. That's all that is. That's all. Elderly people, they having a long day at work. That's all they doing. They be acting all famished too, putting there. The book tellers grab Matthew chapter 6. Book tellers don't do that. If look, all these people, you know when they on Ramadan. They come in and they be, oh brother, I just can't wait. Oh boy, so I'm telling you, I packed my bag, you know what I'm saying? As soon as the clock hits 6, I'm gonna eat. They let you know they on Ramadan. Look, they be coming in my job, all the Muslims. They be coming in there. It's a rough day. It's Ramadan. Walking around like this. It's Ramadan. Boy. Your butt ate at 6 in the morning.
Bro, I was somewhere eating. This lady had the black cross thing on her head.
Oh, that's the other one. That's Lent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You get the Lent. Because Lent and Ramadan, they go at the same time. That's how you know. That's how you know these are some hell-bent religions.
Bro, it's creepy, bro. Like the black, like that thing's creepy to me.
You put a darn cross on your darn. Not only is a cross idolatry, but you want to put it on your forehead so everybody can see your idolatry. Now that one I don't be seeing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't be seeing that. I don't be seeing that on a lot. But they do that thing. They pop out with that thing. They get to walking around with that thing. I be looking like, you make the Lord very nervous. You know what I'm saying? You got to get away from that. This is Matthew chapter 6. What verse I want? I probably want what? Verse 12?
5.
I want 5.
Wait, hold on.
This is Matthew chapter 6.
No.
I'm profiling all of them. There's probably a couple different ones though. Sometimes you gotta have a real one though. Sometimes, cause like these Christians don't be easy. It's some alright Christians out there. Some of these Christians are alright. I do the same thing to Christians. It's equal opportunity. Some of these Hebrew Israelites, is good dudes. Some of them are legit dudes. But you shouldn't be calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite. That's how you get clumped. It ain't my fault. You know what I'm talking about? You clumped yourself in with the mess. The Most High God tell us to do what? And what does he call that in one simple word? be holy. You supposed to be like, eh. You know what I'm talking about? When you see somebody who identify themselves as something separate from what God identified, guess what you're supposed to do? You find any way to separate from that. So yeah, if you say, look, I'm a Muslim now, but I'm a Sunni Muslim. I don't have time to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let me see what a Sunni. I don't have time for that. If the whole Muslim religion is off, why would I say I'm a Sunni Muslim? That don't make sense. If the whole Muslim religion is off, guess what I'm gonna say? No, I don't mess with that. If the Shiites say that they Muslim, and I disagree with them, and I look into it and be like, y'all wrong, I'm not gonna say I'm a different type of Muslim. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm none of that. We believe probably that 95% the same thing as Christianity. If we lay down what we believe, 95% of what we believe is going to be the same as Christianity. Is that for that reason? Am I going to say, I might as well be a Christian? No. Why would I connect myself to something that's wrong? Did the book call me a Christian? Did the book call me a Muslim? Did the book call me a Hebrew Israelite? No. But what did it call me? Well, that's what I'm going to connect myself to. If the man tell me in the 8th chapter of Isaiah,
Bind up the testimony.
bind up the testimony among my what?
Seal the law among my disciples.
What am I going to call myself? A darn disciple, because that has word connection. If the book tell me that you are a son or a daughter of the Most High God, what am I going to call myself? A Christian? I'm going to call myself a darn Muslim? That doesn't make good sense. I'm going to call myself a child of God. If the book tell me I'm a saint, I'm going to call myself a saint. I'm not going to call myself no darn sheik. Even though they do be having a good little head wrap, like they head wrap be nice. Sometimes I'm going to take the head wrap, but I'm not going to call myself a darn sheik. I'm going to say I'm a head wrap disciple. Now them boys bad. I always thought they was just a cleaner Muslim. Them boys is a totally different situation. I learned they don't even play with the Muslims like that. Them boys go to war with the Muslim. Like, it's a whole other thing. There's a girl that worked my job from Pakistan. She told me to say it right. Pakistan. You know what I'm saying?
Not Pakistan.
Yeah, not
You can't say
Pakistan.
Pakistan?
I can say Ramadan, though. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't play with her like that. She told me, she was like, no, it's Pakistan. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect. You know what I'm saying? It's a country. I ain't got nothing against the country. But she said it's one place, and the territory is both in Pakistan and in India. And it's like a big war all the time, historically, about this one place. So on one side, you got I think she said you got the Sheiks. And the other side, I think it's the Hindus. I might be having that wrong. It might have been Muslims on one side. I don't know. Whatever it was, them boys don't play. They at each other. You know what I'm saying? Them boys at each other all the time. But that's how that thing go. That's how that thing is. You got a bunch of different people, religious war, but a lot of these wars, they be religious, but they also be tied to their heritage. A lot of these wars and all this stuff is going on as heritage. It's really only here that they try to make us forget about heritage. But if you really look at the entire world, all of it is about heritage. All this stuff is about heritage, right? We here because of our heritage. This last 28 days where I've been coming up, when I've been, just kind of looking at all this history for us, I thought I knew it all. There's so much more out there. You can't find a quote from overseas from any historian talking about a Jew's skin color that's calling them white. You cannot. Listen. I will challenge anyone to find me a something before 16th, 17th century, right? Talking about the skin color of a Jew. Find me anything that calls them white. You can't find it. Doesn't exist. These people then ran a darn number. They got us feeling like we crazy if we think, what do you think you would do? And we sitting there like, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we be bashful about it. They get to talking to us, we be like, no, I mean, but you know, I kind of read something that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's possible crazier things have happened. Like, no, boy, what you mean? Yeah, your butt is ignorant. Your butt is darn ignorant. You got us feeling like we don't know. No, you're ignorant. Like you've been lied to and you believe the lies. Because they honestly, they trick too. You know what I'm saying? They trick just like we are. I don't believe this like huge conspiracy, all this stuff. No, I think God happened to all of us. That's all it is. God happened to all of us. Where we at? This is what?
16. 6:16.
6:16?
Yeah, Matthew 6:16.
This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 16. Watch what the book says.
Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance.
Look, he talking about the people doing Ramadan. He said, look, when you fast, be not like the hypocrites of a what?
Of a sad countenance.
What's a sad countenance?
Sad face.
That's when your face, you looking like them boys be hunched over like this. They be like, cause you know we work on computers, so we ain't even doing nothing. We sitting there, ain't even darn doing nothing. But I don't play around with fasting at work either. But a 12-hour fast, that ain't, come on, I do that on accidents. Like 4 times out of the week, I do that on accident. You know what I'm saying? So they sitting there. Sorry, ram it. I can barely even think right now. Would you mind answering this question for? I'm looking like him. Nothing. And you know what the craziest part is? They be eating breakfast. They eat breakfast before the light come up. I'm like, boy, they ain't even y'all. If y'all don't stop playing, you gotta fast longer than that for a darn doctor's appointment. You know what I'm talking about? What you mean? They eat anytime the sun is down, they eat. You know how much food I can put away when the sun is down? Man, I gets to it. I wouldn't even notice. I'll be at work. You know what I'm saying? What you need? You know what I'm saying? I'll be at work. That's my daily life. I've been on Ramadan for 16 years. What you mean? If anybody gonna get a hijab, it's gonna be me. Ain't that what they call it? You know why them look, they like Ramadan because they tell them people, man, you blow somebody up, you get 10 virgins. Now I know, mama, that's not all of them. It's a certain thing of them, but they be telling you get 10 virgins as wives in the afterlife. Them little freaky Arabs, them boys say strap him up. You know what I'm saying? Put the ticker on. Boom. Them boy be out of there. They ain't gonna get nothing either. That's out of line. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong to tell somebody that and they believe it and go blow themselves up and they ain't got nothing coming except more fire. You know how foul that is? You know how out of line it is to sit here and tell somebody, listen, if you do this, you know what I'm saying? Just get the Americans. We don't like the Americans anyway. If you do this, just run up in there, press that button, and boom, kabooey. But when you wake up, 10 bad ones, boy. They're going to be right there. And the man going to wake up in another flame. He died in a flame and going to wake up in another. You know how sick that is to do that to somebody? But we supposed to stand around and act like everything okay. Well, you know, we have to respect everybody's religion. This and that. Man, if you don't knock it off, y'all believe some mess. And you believe it if you want to believe it. But don't bring it to my door and act like I'm supposed to act like it's normal. That you fast 12 hours a day and you so tired. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? Where were we at before this? I done lost my darn place.
For they disfigure their faces that they may appear unto men to fast.
Mm-hmm.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
They what?
They have their reward.
As soon as you do it, you got your reward. That go for us too. That go for everybody though.
But thou, when thou fastest,
look, he said when you fast, watch this.
Anoint thine head.
What anoint mean?
Put some oil on.
Put some darn oil on your darn head. Rub some lotion on your ashy darn butt, and you go out there fasting, and you look like something. When you fast, you should be looking good.
And wash thy face.
Wash your darn dirty darn face. You gonna roll around in dirt when you fast and come outside. Your butt ain't been dirty no day of the darn year. Day of atonement come, now you dirty all in the face, drool coming down your face. Well, you can't wash your face when you fast. That's against the, Come on, man. Y'all gotta cut that stuff out, man. You don't need nobody to know you fat. As soon as listen, as soon as you now listen, sometimes that's why I gotta tuck myself away because I be having a bad attitude when I'm fasting. I be having a bad attitude, man. I don't want to talk to your butt. I ain't making it to no Thursday, boy. Yeah, that fast is tough. That fast is tough. Our fast are real fast, though. You know what I'm saying? Compared to no darn Ramadan. Look, I'll be having full conversations with the Holy Spirit when I fast. If I fast 2 days, the Holy Spirit be talking to me like, come on, boy, you almost there. You know, almost there. Almost to heaven? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm about to die. You know what I'm saying? This thing is bad. Go back to John chapter 11, verse where we leave off. Get John chapter 11. That's an exercise. Oh, I don't know. I don't know the particulars. Yeah, I don't know the particulars. I think it lasts about a month though. Lent is 40 days.
Dang.
Yeah, they do the opposite of what's it called? The Feast of Weeks. You know what I'm saying? So they count 40 days before. Feast of Weeks is 50 days after the day that Yahushua rose. This is John chapter 11 verse
52.
Verse 52. Watch the book say.
And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together to put him to death.
Oh no, go back. This is 50. Give me verse
Nor
50.
consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people,
He said one man should die for the people.
and that the whole nation perish not.
Is it right what Caiaphas is saying?
Oh,
So what he meant for evil, how did God mean it?
meant it for good.
Let's go back. This is Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Let's read that again. This is Genesis chapter 50, verse 20.
But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good to bring to pass as it is this day to save much people alive.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly to them.
That's right. He said, I will nourish you and who?
And he comforted them. I will nourish you and your little ones.
He said, I will nourish you and your little one. Right? Now I asked at the beginning, who did this remind us of?
Yahushua.
Yahushua. It makes sense now, don't it? All right. Any questions? Tia said they're gonna take this one down. They probably is gonna take this one down. They probably is gonna shut it down. Now you can play at the Muslims a little bit. You can't play at the Jewish people. That's the one. You know what I'm saying? That's the one. Listen, when we were talking about the only video they got in mind that they took down, boy. Oh no, that wasn't Jewish. We wasn't talking about Jewish people.
Talking about the vaccine.
We talking about the vaccine. That's the only thing they ever took down in mine. They gave me little strikes, but the only one that they took it down, like took it off, you can't find it on YouTube, is when I mentioned them vaccines. Boy, they weren't playing with me. They said, get that thing off of here. These people are evil, man. These are some sick people that we dealing with. It's bad. It's bad because these people don't even know their right hand from their left. They just sick people and messed up. And the part that's a disservice is these people don't have anybody to like straighten them out or tell them the truth. It's just lies against lies. Just a marketplace of lies and half truths and deception. And it's bad. So the truth is offensive. You know, when these lies spend so much time trying to make you give you this false sense of reality and make you feel like nothing is a problem and there is no problem, and the truth come and tell you no, that's a problem. That feels offensive to people. That feels scary. It feels jolting to people. So they react to it. All of us got to remember that. We got to keep that in mind. If you go out here and you live the truth, when I say the truth, I'm talking about a very particular truth of the Most High God. If that's the truth that you live, that is offensive to people. They talk about J. Cole right now, just to give an example. Not saying that J. Cole represent anything of the Most High God, but I wanted to give y'all a live example of how things that are innocent are offensive to people, right? So J. Cole has a marketing campaign for his album that he promoted as like kind of like his last album. He called it The Fall Off, right? And in doing that, J. Cole said, I'm gonna drive around the country in the same Civic that I had when I was younger or something like that, right? I guess he sold CDs out of the back of his Civic. So he went and found that same Civic. Now he takes that Civic and he's driving from North Carolina all the way to LA or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people are looking at that and saying, that's so corny. They say that's so performative is the word that they use. They say that's so performative. Like, why is he doing that in a Civic? Now, when I look at that, I say, let's say it is performative. How is that any like who called it performative when the rappers sell T-shirts at the concert or when they show up at clubs and promote their CD through showing up at clubs? Like, what's more performative when they buy all these extra chains and hang them from their neck and sag their pants to the floor when they popping bottles and pouring it out on women? What's more performative? But the one that stands out to you is the one that's actually innocent, the one that's humble. You got a rapper who's not driving a Bugatti. He gets in the Civic like regular people do, and it's like, oh, man, he know he can afford something better than that. That's performative. Man, y'all are sickos, right? But that's anything that gets you closer to the Most High God, right? Not saying that that's Cole's intention, but because it's humility, that is a danger to Satan out there. Satan is looking at that and saying, you're going to mess up my plan if people start looking at that. That's going to get them closer to God. Humility will get them closer to God. We don't need that. Put 2 chains on and go get you a Bugatti. Go get you a darn Lamborghini truck. That's how you do it. Right? And that's how it is for us too. When you walk around here and you talk about God, that's when they're going to tell you you're judgmental. They're not going to tell you judgmental when you say, man, I'm not hanging out with nobody who ain't got no ambition. They're not going to tell you judgmental when you say, man, I don't need nobody around me that always needs something. I need people around me where I need something from them. They're not going to call you judgmental when they say, I can't mess with no dude that got 6 baby mamas. They're not going to call you judgmental when it's like, nah, man, I can't. If my girl don't got her eyebrows done and her nails done, man, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with no dirty girl. None of that's judgmental. You know when the judgmental come out? When you say, I can't do that, man. I serve the Most High God. We got to watch this stuff and you got to pay attention to his devices. When you know the devices of Satan, this stuff don't even affect you. You look at it and say, par for the darn course. Of course that's what you gonna darn say. What else you gonna darn say? That's what you supposed to say because you ain't ready to come my way yet. And the other thing we got to remember is just because somebody ain't ready to come this way today, don't mean that they won't be 3 weeks from now, 2 years from now, 7 years from now, whatever the time frame is. We have no idea how this stuff is going to play out. It's not our job to figure out how it's going to play out. It's not our job to look at this like, yeah, you never going to come to God. Or one day you are going to come to God. Neither one of those are our job. You know what our job is? Do what the Most High God said to do. That's it. He will handle the rest of it. We can pray and be like, man, I pray this person don't come. Absolutely, right? But don't get caught up in trying to predict. You know me, I try to predict everything. You cannot try to predict what people are going to do as it relates to God. It's just a waste of thought process. Just focus on what you have to do. Save your own soul and do it well. And you'll see that the things around you will be pleasing to you. That's the only thing. The things that you ask the Most High God for, he will give it to you. But we got to pay attention to how the world is working because it's about to get tough, in my opinion. I think it is. I ain't no prophet. I'm not trying to act like I'm a prophet or I've been told something that's going to happen. I don't know. But just my reading of the book and my understanding of what I think I understand of the world, I feel like it's about to get very, very tough next year. And I think this world is going to be a very different place next year. And we have to be prepared if that is the case, right? And even if it ain't the case, that's fine too. We should still be prepared and make sure our kids are prepared and make sure everybody is prepared. Because if it get tight, man, what we going to do other than serve the Most High God? All right, let's pray out.